Awesome. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Welcome to Wednesday afternoons. Hello, Russia. Hello, Christopher. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and modeling things in SketchUp. Hello, Germany. I mean, not hello to all of Germany, but greetings to you in Germany.
You can say hello to all of Germany. They might not hear you, but
I'd have to yell a lot louder.
yeah, please don't.
Hello, Mushrif. I am doing well. Everything's going good so far. Halfway through the week too, so that's a plus.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys are all doing well out there too. Colombia, awesome. Evening. It's evening.
Hey,
Where
Aaron, what's
Kai
that thing
is.
by your left hand?
I don't know. It was here when I showed up this morning. Hello, Brazil. It is. It's actually. It is. A couple of people are asking if it's getting warmer, and it is. It's actually. It's 66 outside right now, but I think it's supposed to hit 70. It was like 76 yesterday afternoon.
I went
Um,
for a walk this morning in shorts. It was nice,
yeah, I was thinking that would actually be totally possible.
but it's also supposed to snow on Sunday.
Yeah, that's Colorado. All right. Hello, guys. How's it going? Hopefully, everybody out there is doing good. Everybody's staying self sequestered and happy, sane-ish. Um, yeah, hopefully it's all going well. We are going to get together today, and 2 weeks ago, we did some modeling of some machine parts. I found some drafting examples online, and I was requested that we do that again. So here it is Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we talked about my top 10 utilitarian extensions, kind of a good set of extensions for everybody. And we looked at those, and that was fun. Today, though, we're going back to more modeling, kind of a model along. We're going to nice and slow model something and kind of step by step, and you guys can model with us. So I have posted up here on the forum 6 images. I don't know that we'll get to all 6, but I did find these 6 images, download them, and yeah, we'll use them as images to, or parts to model in SketchUp. So we'll start with this one right here. I believe I called it part A, if you guys did download it. You know, it's funny because we hang out so often. I feel like I don't ever have as many good stories queued up like I do when we just talk on Friday. Like, what's some good stuff that happened since the day before yesterday? Well, I got ready for
Remember 2 days
this.
ago?
And actually, you guys may notice this. I'm actually streaming at a little bit higher resolution. Let me know if you can notice the difference. Uh, I noticed on some of the older streams, some of the stuff was a little, like the toolbar at the top, some of the drawings were kind of blurry and low maintenance. So I'm actually uh, bumped up the resolution that I'm streaming at. Hopefully everybody is still getting a nice smooth stream. One of the nice things about streaming from home is actually I have a faster internet connection than we have at the office. So because there's like nobody on this also, I think that helps. There's 150 people on our internet at work. So let me know if it goes good.
Yeah. So Christopher Moore noticed you didn't pick anything with fillets in it. You might have to add a fillet just to
Sure.
inspire him to try harder.
The last couple pieces have those same bracy kind of geometries. We could go in and fillet those again. That would be okay. All right.
Would you
Oh,
say
YouTube
you
is
could
back.
fill it in?
It's been a while, YouTube. Yootoob. YouTube. Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome back, sir, ma'am. Welcome back, you.
Oh, I'm louder than you on
Oh,
Twitch. I'll be quiet. I'll
oh,
be
hold on.
quiet.
I can control that. I have absolute authority. Watch this. Okay, I'm not going to abuse the authority, but hopefully we're level now and not louder.
Is this better?
Wow,
Can
that
you
was
hear me
loud.
now?
That was a loud hiss. Okay, YouTube would prefer, sir. You got it. All right. Let's do this thing. Oh, Christopher's saying. Wait, are you saying, Christopher? You're saying no fillets, like it's a command? No fillets, like no new taxes, or are you saying
I,
no fillets?
I'm going to go with the latter, or maybe he's misspelling KNOW, like he wants us all to know fillets.
Mm. Or maybe he ran out of meat and there's no fillets left.
Oh, good point. Good point. Oh, that would be a tragedy.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer. All right, let's hop in here. Let's make some stuff. All right, so as usual, I'm gonna go ahead. I have my 6 images. I downloaded them. I have them on my desktop. I'm gonna load them one at a time as watermarks as we do this modeling. As usual, let's get it in first here. Let's come in here. I'm gonna go to Styles. I'm going to just edit my current style and go to the watermark tab. From here, I'm gonna hit plus. I'm gonna go find that first part A, open it. All right, it's gonna bring in all big. I'll actually label this as part A. I want it to be in the background, not over top. Next, full image, you don't need it to be translucent or anything. And I'm gonna position it as I like to do in the upper left corner, and we'll make it small enough that it doesn't get covered up too much by my head. That's pretty good. That looks good. You guys can see that. I can see that. That's the important stuff. All right, so with that, now we have that image back there. So see, as I move Laura around, any of my stuff is going to be over top of it, and it doesn't move. I don't have to worry about it getting in the way. Second thing I'm going to do is come up to my model info and modify my modeling units. My default template that I generally use is an architectural template, so it's in fractional inches. In this case, though, I want to model everything in even meters. So this is, I assume, millimeters, but to avoid any issues with small faces in SketchUp, I'm going to model everything at meters. So I'm going to come in here, change to decimal and meters.
You change your precision?
Yeah, I can change this to smaller. Maybe we'll go, actually everything should be rounded, but we may have some that are like a half meter, so I'll go to 1 decimal point. All right, that looks good. With that, we can start running. All right, like I said, I do have a bunch of these up here, 6 of them, so I'm just gonna hop in and start modeling. There is, as everything in SketchUp, there's probably a dozen different ways to approach this model. I'm gonna hop in with the way that I would do it. You guys, of course, you know, there's multiple ways to do this. There's different approaches to it. This is just my way of going about it. So I look at this and I see this big rectangle on the ground first. It's actually not all the way on the ground. It does have these little bumps right here, but I'll address those too. So I'm going to start with this 50 by 90 rectangle. So I'm just going to come in here, put in a rectangle that is 50, comma 90. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be big. I'm going to take Laura out of there so I can pretend it's small. I'm going to take that. The sides of this seem to be 10 all the way around. So I'm going to offset this 10, enter, and get rid of this shape. And I'm going to pull it up the full height of 35. That's this shelf right here. So I'm just going to push pull, 35, right, like that. Now, before I'm going to do this little hoopy thing is going to be the last part. I know that's the technical machining name is hoopy part, in case you guys aren't up to date on how all that stuff works. But in a machinist shop, this would be called a hoopy part. That's a lie. All right, but first I'm going to finish off my block here. So I'm going to start with this right here. I want to get this angle, this cut down. So it has 20 flat, and then it goes to 20 up. This isn't a square, so it's not a 45-degree angle. I don't really care what the angle is. What I'm going to do is just come over here 20. That's going to give me a snap point right at 20. I'm going to do the same thing down here at the bottom and come up 20. And then just draw a line between those 2 points, here to here. Now what I can do is I can just grab that, push it across like that, push that across to here. And then to get this other side, I'll just carry this line up, inferencing along the magenta line right there, and push that through the other side. All right. So there we have this first part. The second thing is these little steps right here. Right down here I have a 30 by 10 cutout right here. So I'm going to start at one end, come across 30, then I'm going to go from that point, there it is, up 10, whoops, up 10, oh, up 10, there we go, third tries a charm, back over 30, and then back down 10. Now to save myself from having to do that again, I'm going to grab this rectangle right now, grab it from the middle, option copy to the middle of this back wall right here. Now I'll just push both of these through to the back side, there we go. Now I got those cuts. Now it's
Does it double click on your second push pull?
Yes, I double clicked on my second push pull, which push pull is the exact same amount as last time. So since this one's through 10, this one's through 10, it's the same. All right, now what we got is our hoopy part. The center of that circle, yeah, this is the warm-up. This is the easy one. So the center of this circle is up 35 off the bottom. I know that this is 10, so that means it's 25 up from the middle here. So I'm just going to draw a line, 25. Oh, look at that. Look where 25 happens to be. Well, I don't need that line at all then. I can just use the center point of that line. So I'll start right here. And let's see, we have two circles. One with a radius of 20, one with a diameter of 20. I'm going to, for these models, I'm going to use circles with 48 sides. Just give me a little bit more clean lines. Not a requirement, but I'm going to do it for mine. So I'm going to do my first circle of 20 radius. That's the bigger circle. Go back to the midpoint and do one at 10. And now I can get rid of this line right here. I don't want to get rid of this line. This one I want to keep. I don't want to get rid of this line yet. First, I want to take this piece, pull it back like this, and see what happened there? Because this was already aligning, it got confused and flipped my inside-outside. Somebody asked about that, and I had to kind of make up an example of what it was. Sometimes you get lucky and you get to make your own problems. So what I'm going to do instead is, as I start pull through here, if I hit the modifier key, Option on Mac, Control on Windows, it'll create a brand new surface. So it doesn't have any backsides there. And I can click that to there.
I have to say, in SketchUp, it turns out I'm usually very lucky.
All right, that's good to
I
hear.
make my own problems a lot.
So I have this bottom. Right now this doesn't go through, so I'm just going to push, pull it through there. There we go. The last thing is modifier key with the erase to get rid of those pieces. And that finishes our piece.
Under 10 minutes. You should be a machinist.
Apparently, I don't know, it probably takes longer to make this out of metal than it does to draw it in SketchUp. It
Or
doesn't quite look
they're
the same
trying
though,
to
does it? The material looks bigger here or something. Or let me try this. Let's go to parallel projection. Go line this thing up over here.
looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
You might need to change your
Hmm.
your field of view. Your
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I guess that is pretty good. Whoever hand drew this was fairly precise. Okay, anyhow, let's take that and make it a group. Get rid of X-ray. All right, I'm gonna just grab that and scoot it down here somewhere. I'm gonna draw near the origin. It's out of my way, it's out of my mind. I've already forgotten it, that I even drew it.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna come in here to my watermarks again. Oh, Christopher Morin said he did it. Anyone else? Thumbs up, they
Nice.
followed along and got it. Whoa, Boris is having a glass of wine. I'm assuming it's not noon there. Well, I mean, if it is.
Hey, what? No judgment.
No, you do it. Unprecedented times. They're saying it on the news still every 5 minutes. Do what you need to do.
Drink wine.
All right, I'm gonna come over here and I guess I'm actually, so what I could do is I could come here, grab my part B, open that as a new watermark. Let's say it's a background image, full image, positioned in the upper left, small enough that it fits behind me.
Well, this is going to be exciting. MCAD already tried this, and he stumbled on the one I think the one you're about to do. So
All
let's
right.
see.
I'm ready. Let's do it. By putting it over top, see that? So now I still have A under there. So if I ever wanted to, I could reorder these and flip through my different parts. I don't know if that has any practical use, but they're in there. That way I don't have to reload them later. You can't hide thumbnail images, so I can't have them loaded and not visible, but I can stack them up like sheets of paper so that I only see the one on top. So that may be something worth doing. I don't know, it's your call. Irv is joining us from Sweden for the first time. Drinks are on Irv. Oh no, I'm sorry. The bottom part with
Oh,
the
it's kind of hard to
14
read the
dimensions.
text on that.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's definitely, I can actually see it on my monitor over here better than I can on the screen I'm modeling on. All right, so here's my thought here is this is actually kind of a goofy one. You're right. What happens here is going to be interesting. So what we have is basically a rectangle where normally last time I started with a rectangle on the ground and brought it up. What I'm inclined to do this time is get this shape first and then pull it this 150 and then build these two pieces up on top. So to do that, I'm going to start with the rectangle here that is 60. And that comes up 25. So there we go. That's this rectangle at the end. Now what I have is, I'm going to draw a couple lines here. So I have this middle line is 30. So, oh, you know what? I can go back to perspective view. There we go. So that means I'm going to come in 15 and I'm going to draw a line down. Go this way 15, and I'm going to draw a line down. And then I'm going to come here and go up 14 and draw a line across. Now, what we have right here is a 60-degree angle. See that? It's saying that this comes down 60 degrees. So if one were so inclined and able to do it, they could probably do some math in their head to figure, okay, if this is 60 degrees, what is the angle from here going up? And they could do the math to figure where that is. I am not that someone. What I'm going to do is take this line right here, and I'm going to go to rotate, grab it from the middle. I'm going to say Option to copy it and rotate it to 60 degrees. And get rid of these pieces above and below, and I can take this line right here and move it to there. To get this one on the other side.
He's asking why you're not using, Ilgi is asking why you're not using guidelines. Here's your rant. You can rant right now.
Because I don't. I've simplified my rant.
Wow, that was fast as
No,
ever.
guidelines are awesome. A lot of people use them. A lot of people really like them. I've just never really gotten into using guidelines. I create the geometry I need and move it where I would need to move it. That's just kind of how I do it. But guidelines are great. If, that would be one way to do it, would be to come in and, hey, let's look at different ways to do this. Hey, you know what I haven't done yet? Starts with S and rhymes with save.
Pave?
Dang it.
Pave?
Pave. I should probably save this. Let's go save this. Okay, so if I wanted to do that with a reference line, totally could do that. I could come in here and use the protractor tool. I have to go look for it because I'm not even sure where it is. All right, I'm going to go that same. I'm going to go to the midpoint here. Let's say this, and then I'm going to go to again 60 degrees. And then what I could do is grab a line and draw my line right here, inference this line, and then come off. Can you not pull an inference to? Well, I guess this is why I don't do it this way.
Or maybe because you don't do it this way is why you don't know what you're doing.
Help me. I guess I can't pull an inference off of that. Huh. Well, there we go. That's why. All right, so instead I'll just come here and draw a line right here and then move that line over to here. All right, now I'll get rid of my extra lines. There we go. So now I have just my piece down there, and now I can push-pull that, my 105. And I have the base right there. All right, two more pieces. Yeah, I don't know what that thing is. I'm going to come draw this one right here, 20. So I'm just going to grab this line and copy it, 20. What happened there? Something's funny. All right, I'm going to come this way, 20. And then I'm going to push that up 45. All right, now, what does this say?
That's a good question.
15 times 45?
So is it, it's moving up 15 units, and it's a 45-degree angle.
Is that it, or is it a 15-degree line at 45 degrees?
What the hell's a 15-degree line? Sorry.
Well, I'm not 100% sure. Well, let me do two things. We'll see. Alexander's asking why I'm drawing in meters rather than millimeters. Okay, so it is a 15 millimeter line at 45 degrees. Alexander, yeah. I'm drawing at meters because SketchUp is not made to handle
Thank
if you get to sub-millimeter surfaces, it has a hard time drawing or creating those. So I'm drawing in meters instead, so I don't have a problem or an issue with those small faces. So that's the answer. All right, so
Well, and
here's
you can see that there is a 30 unit, 30 millimeter, 30 whatever, going up to the center of that circle, which also lines up at the bottom edge of that angle. So since it's all 45, you can deduce that the last part is 50. I'm sorry, that's math. I'm mathing that part. I'll shut up.
whatever. Okay, so here's the two things that I was thinking. Is one is it's down 15, right? And then I'll draw a line like that. And I can take that, and I could rotate that 45 degrees. That would be an option. Likewise, I could also say 45, 45, and connect the two. If it was a 15-meter line at 45 degrees, what I could do is I could draw a line that was 15. I could take that line, rotate it 45 degrees, move it against one edge, and then move it by the top up to the top edge. So I could do that. Either of those would be right. But I think, like Jody's saying, when I do that and look at the image, this looks right. I'm going to leave both of them just for a second because I'm going to finish this geometry and then we can verify. Because it does look like, I read it the same, somebody said that, who was that? Nerman on YouTube said 15 millimeters at 45 degrees. That's what I thought too, but I think what they're actually saying is come down 15 and go 45.
You can see a line that goes across the bottom edge,
Mm-hmm.
goes all the way across, and then there's a 30. It's kind of written on the inside edge or in the inside of the dimensions. You know that the bottom of that angle is 30 up.
Right.
Yeah, it's 30 up. And
So
you know
let's
the whole
start
thing
that.
is a total.
Mm-hmm. So let's start here. Let's go to the middle, and we're going to come up. Actually, so 30. Grab a circle. Radius of 15.
What's the diameter of that?
Nope.
No. It doesn't say what the. Now I got to go look at the picture.
No, I think it's a diameter of 15. I put a circumference. So 7.5.
Okay.
That's light math, guys. That doesn't count, by the way, as being math, dividing, by 2. So then I'm going to go straight across. Straight across. So see, I'm staying on the red axis till it hits the circle. That's important because I want to make sure that I stay on axis with that. Also, whenever I draw a circle, I'm always snapping out to the red, blue, or green axes. Always keeping one of the edges on axes. Since I have 48 sides, that means it's going to put 12 sides between the axes. So as long as I always stay that way, then I know I have snap points at any of those corners straight across the axes from the center. All right, so having done all of this, I can get rid of this. I can pull this back like this. And now if I look at my two options here, yeah, I'd say this is probably what it was. So here's what I'm going to do. This will be fun. I'm going to draw a line right across the middle here, this piece. Grab this surface, go to rotate, go in the middle, option, swing that around 180 degrees. And then that material, that merges right there, so I can just push, pull, and cut that off.
Bing.
All right, I'm going to modifier erase there. Okay, I'd say we're doing pretty good. Looking all right. Now I got one more thing up here. It's got a hoopy part on it. Hey, Dave, welcome back.
Isn't a hoopy and then like a kind of a car, like a janky old car?
I'm sure.
That's a hoopty.
Yeah, hoopties have hoopies.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to come back 25.
I should stop drinking wine for these.
Hey, you're an employee. You can't say things like that.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
It's now on my official record.
That's right. It's been recorded. I'm going to draw a line from here. I'm going to go up 30. All right, now I got two circles. I'm going to draw them constrained to green using the arrow key. I'm going to hit the left arrow key to constrain to the green axes and pull down. Just like I was saying before, I want to stay on axis, so I'm going to pull down vertically 7.5. And then again, pull down on the vertical 15. That gets me this inside and outside circle. Again, I can come straight across like this. That gives me the vertical. I'm going to drop that all the way down to the surface. Come across here. I'm realizing at this point this is a symmetrical piece, so I could have modeled half of it, but with all the circles and stuff, I don't know that I'm saving a whole lot of time on modeling half and then copying it over. I guess if you're counting clicks, then I'm spending extra time, but wait. All right, so
No judgment.
this is 30 wide, and now I have here a little arc with a radius of 6. So I'm going to draw a line up 6, and then take an arc from that point. Let me same thing here. 6, and now I can put an arc between this point and this point. Again, to save time, I'll just grab this one, go to rotate, because I have this middle point right here. Rotate from here, bring it around the other side, click. Now I can erase this, and this, and I can pull that, looks like 15, enter. All right, and then I have a little bit of softening to do, so modifier key with my erase. Oops, it didn't merge right here, so I'm going to draw a line right here. There we go. Now it merged in.
Perfect. Manos is asking to show again how you move the direction of the circle.
Arrow key. So when you come into, I had a line like this when I go to my circle, and I hovered over a point. The arrow key will let you constrain. So before you click, I haven't clicked on the point yet. I'm just hovering my mouse around. I can hit the arrow keys to switch which axes I want to draw on. And I am going to put these lines back in temporarily because I have an extra surface inside here, which I'll delete, and then re-soften that line and that line. All right. Piece is looking done. I'll take that, group it also, and we'll shove it down here in the done pile.
Just toss it. Toss it in a bin. Needs sketchy physics installed.
All right, time to save again. Let's save.
Are you doing the sip and save? It was pointed out earlier. I forgot who said it. You're supposed to be
right.
drinking water too.
Stay
hydrated.
And I got a cup that doesn't disappear. It doesn't blend in with the green screen like the last one. That was just a little too crazy. All right, time for a new image. Come back to my my watermarks. Hit plus, and now let's move on to C.
It's kind of killing me that you don't have it sorted alphabetically. So
yeah, I know
they're all out.
The click that it would take to fix that is just one click too many, apparently.
I'll get through it, I guess.
Maybe I'll resize it next time.
Cowboy asked earlier for you to do a spiral screw. Now he's asking for gears, which might be a little too late for this one, but maybe on the next one of these, you can kind of start to get into that.
Absolutely. All right, so I don't know why I was trying to pile these up and keep them all, but you can see it's starting to become an issue because they're not the same size. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove my old ones. I don't actually need these. All right. Gonna have to make some assumptions on this one because we only have this viewable from one side. I'm going to assume that this channel right here kind of continues through. So this is open on the back. I'm going to assume that this runs up to the back of this wall and then stops. Those are my assumptions for this design.
I think those are both good. This has got lots of weird, odd numbers.
Yeah.
37, 25.
Don't you know you're supposed to be divisible by 10 on something like this? Gosh.
Ah, it's metric. I thought that's the whole point of metric.
So to touch on just real quick, Cowboy asked about gears and screws. Absolutely, both of those can be modeled using just native tools the way we're doing it right now. But there are extensions that make it easier. With the screws, it's just easier to use something like Draw Whorl, WOHRL is I think the name of the extension. So that will draw like screw patterns or just spirals or something like that. I think there's a couple screw extensions out there. They're just time consuming to draw with native tools. So it is totally possible. Actually, I have a couple skill builders where we use the web-based version of SketchUp, so only native tools, to draw some screws. It is totally possible. With gears are a little trickier because to have gears properly like connect together, there is a lot of math to make sure that your teeth are going to overlap properly, that they're going to contact at the right point, that there's enough space that they can move through each other as they rotate. So I believe there's a gear extension out there also. So yes, that's all possible, and I've drawn many of both, but not often with any kind of precision in mind. So creating the shape is easy. Creating it properly, accurately is a little bit more work. So that was a long answer to just an offhand question you threw out there. All right, let's get this thing in. Yeah, what's with the weird size?
What are you humming about?
I'm trying to figure out how I would approach this. I guess I'm doing this. I'm gonna go up 37.
Restream. I gotta be like
come across 29.
Wait, 29? Where are you measuring there?
12, right across the bottom. So I'm drawing it right like this, like it's actually showing up here.
Where'd you get 29 from?
Right here.
I'm not looking at what you're looking at. I'm looking at the picture.
I'm sorry. Right above my head.
Oh, I see you. I don't see your head.
Oh, that's right. Bring this like this. Yeah, they don't give me this dimension right here anywhere. I can assume that it's the same 12 as it is here. Yeah, because there's no other dimensions horizontally, so I'll have to assume it's the same dimension. So come across 12 and then take that down. Then I have that piece, which can then be, uh-oh, my stuff is getting scooted down some more.
I told you, throw it in a bin.
I should have tagged it and made it invisible. That would have been the smart thing to do. All right, I'm gonna take that and push it across 5. Now, I'm gonna save myself some time later on. I'm gonna grab that and I'm going to move it. 30 plus 5 is 35.
Nice math, good job.
Okay, I did a little math, I cheated. All right, and now I'm gonna come down 5, draw a line like that, come across.
So I guess this is a third assumption you have to make is the depth of that piece.
Yeah, I was looking for ways to work backwards into this, but there's literally no dimensions going on this plane, on my red plane. This is the only dimension. See that? So there's literally nothing telling what that is. But like I said, assuming, based on my assumptions, that this channel was consistent around the backside, I think we're okay. because we have to be. We have to be okay. I declare it as okay. All right.
You know what is okay? Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mathed it, Brent. I mathed it. I'm sorry. Uh, Miguel is asking about the black thing. This is a 3D mouse. It's used for moving in 3D space. It's not a requirement to use SketchUp, but I do use it because it makes for a nice presentation, nice smooth zooming. All the zooming can be done using just a middle mouse button of a 3D mouse. So I can scroll to zoom in and out. I can click and hold down that middle button to orbit. Everything can be done with just the mouse. I use this because it makes for a nice presentation as I move around here in 3D space. Also, if you're a designer who does a lot of 3D work, it's worth checking out because it is a very nice way to move in 3D. All right, almost like I've said that before. Anybody catch that?
Time or two.
I'm gonna go grab another circle. I'm gonna come on the red axis right here and say I have a radius of 7. So come here and pull across 7.
Oh,
so that's the big one. Then I have a small
which is a
3.5.
diameter of 7.
Yeah, so see right here, this is actually pulling to the outer circle. That's this. And then up here is the diameter of this, which is a 3.5. All right. All right, and then I'm going to go from here up 10, draw 2 more circles on the red of 3.5, and then again 7. And now to connect some things together. So the only reason I'm bringing this green line over here to find these edge pieces is just to keep it simple. I could zoom in here and just grab the point. That would work. But simplify. If it doesn't hurt anything to have that extra line there, might as well do that. I'll do the same thing right here. Drop this straight down. Click right here. Drop this straight down. All right, now I have all the lines that I need, and I can start trimming. So I can get rid of this, this.
That's a mess.
It is.
You know, I find that I'm not having a lot to contribute value-wise here, and I just want to make puns about you using the Marine motto for how you model. Simplify.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, a couple deep breaths
Serenity
there.
now.
All right. That's what I need. I do need all these 3 pieces. This one right here is going to pull straight back. Oop, modifier key to hold on to my face to there. This one's going to come through and stop at the face here. This one is going to go all the way through. Actually, it's going to stop me right here. That's fine, because then I can actually do this, and I can take this and pull that through to the other side like that.
Sure does create a lot of messy geometry you got to clean up.
It does. And you know, this is maybe where guidelines, notice I said maybe, I'm refusing to actually commit to it, but this might be a spot where guidelines would save me a little bit of cleanup. Also, I could use something like cleanup. I could soften and smooth and use cleanup, which I'm not doing. Maybe I'll do it next time. Next time we'll use the cleanup extension and get all that cleaned up for free. All right, last thing is a 5-meter ramp coming from here down the front. So
this one's frustrating, Mr. Morin.
Well, there's an issue here, right? Because that is the angle that this would go from the very center down to here. Once I come over this way, 2.5, and I go parallel to that, that's where it hits the surface. So
yeah, I think I would draw lines straight down and just wait. Yeah, and pull it out and then cut it.
Right. Well, that's the question is something has to happen. It can't, it's not going to tie up all nice and tidy like this. This, this, this is what lying looks like. So yeah, I can go straight across like that, drop this straight down, drop this straight down. Then I can pull from that corner straight back. Let's go constrain to red. Take that straight up. Whoops, missed it by that much. There we go. Same thing over here. Start right here. Straight back on the red.
Yeah, this particular drawing is just a mess, man. The source drawing is confusing as all get out.
All right, so that's okay. That's acceptable. But you know, that's also reality. I don't want to step on anybody's toes or reveal any industry secrets, but sometimes you have to work from drawings that aren't very good.
Spoken like a true draftsman.
3 down. Yeah, I've done a little bit of design on architectural drawings that maybe didn't actually work in the real world. All right, so there's my part 3 in the books.
Maybe take a second here since we're at the halftime show. You can see if everything makes sense so far.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Is everybody following along? Sometimes I just get rolling and I just got to keep drawing.
Yeah, if you keep this up, then we're gonna be done by 1:15.
That's right. I got to stall for a little bit.
Time's 1:30 anyway.
Stretch. I know a question came across about 3D mice. Like I said, not a requirement, but I like it a lot. I find that, like I said, there's 2 things for me. One is the smoothness that I can show something in. Walking somebody through a model and having these nice
that's embarrassing.
gliding movements. This is great. This is definitely an upside to it. The other thing that's nice about a 3D mouse is it frees up this hand. This hand does all the zooming while this hand does all the work. So that means I can be looking around. I can go, okay, I need to pan over to that other one and paint it. So I can, while I'm panning, go grab my paint bucket and have it ready by the time I get here. So as a presentation tool, it looks nicer, but as a kind of a process tool or a design tool, it definitely speeds up the movement or speeds up work too. So yeah, I think they're great. I'm an advocate for them. Like I said, not a requirement, but I think they're really nice. If you do spend any serious amounts of time in 3D packages doing any kind of design work, I think they're well worth it.
So I think Cowboy has a good question worth kind of exploring, which was how would you do this drawing we just did if you were to actually bring the edges down instead of there being a blunt tip on the point?
Sure. So we can't have it both ways. Something has to change in that case. What I could do is if I come in here, I could take this surface and I could move it. I'm moving a copy of it straight down, right? So that this would be one of the options, like that. The other, since it didn't actually specify that angle as being important, I could actually take that point, bring it up here, and I could have that is an option as well. But what it can't do is, with this being a smooth surface, it can't be flat on this end and follow an arc on this end. I could go in and do something like a loft to stay flat at the top and then come down to a curve on the bottom. I can't see a machinist doing something like that to create this piece. This is probably more likely what would happen because there's really not a purpose to hold on to that arc right there. This would probably make more sense, but I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the preferred method would be, but either of those would work.
So basically what you're doing is you're now offering up the excuse you would give to your teacher if you were having to model this for a class.
Oh, yes. That's right.
I think those are both good.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's logical, right? Here I have an arc. Here it's flat. I can't take a flat surface and be flat on one end and arced on the other. That's not possible. It would have to, at some point, break into an arc type shape. So that's what I was saying. If I needed to maintain this curve right here, I would end up lofting that together.
So Cowboy does ask, because the way you described that, so Cowboy said if you left the radius in place, it can't intersect.
Right. So let's back it all up. So if I was, let me put that arc back on here real quick. Okay, so that's my arc, right? So this is that plane coming down. It either is going to stop above the arc or cut down into the arc, but I can't actually follow both with a straight face right here. So that's what I'm just saying, that geometry can't exist.
You can't do this with a straight face. Gotcha.
So it's one or the other. You can either have this edge can be above the arc or it can bite down into the arc, but it can't follow the arc and have a flat surface here. It's just the way our reality works.
All right.
So
okay.
either of those would work. All right. The modifier key, Patrick's asking about the modifier key. It is, when you're in push-pull, it is Option on Mac, and I believe, I'm 90% sure, it's Control on Windows.
I suppose I should open Windows.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Carry
Well,
on.
that's the thing. I mean, we used to talk about this, like I said, in architectural design. Roof design is horrendous for this because you draw a roof from above and everything is these nice 45 degrees and everything lines up. But when you actually create a roof, they're all sloping surfaces, and if they're not the exact same slope, they don't meet at 45s. They meet at other angles. So you can draw on a piece of paper nice 45s and say this is a 612 and this is a 1012, and just show them meeting at the same angle, but that doesn't actually happen. So yeah, drawing something like this and then actually creating it in 3D space are two different things. You can do some stuff with pencil drawings that you just can't do with a 3D modeling tool.
It's superior in all ways. Why is anybody even using computers at this point?
You can't BS the same way in real life. There we go. Sorted alphabetically, Jody.
Yay! So much better.
Let's open D. Moving on. Put in background. Oops, that was the right one. Just wrong button. And let's shrink it up. All right, my head may clip it a little bit, but I actually I gotta go a little bit bigger. I'm sorry. I'll try to dodge my head when I'm pulling dimensions off of here.
Woo. I was wondering why you use Mac over Windows if you have a preference.
Honestly, SketchUp runs on Mac or Windows, so get the kind for the computer you have. It is totally a personal preference that I myself like Macs better, and I have reasons for that, but now's not the time or place.
This is not the platform.
Oh, no. I like Macs just personally, but yeah, whatever kind you want, SketchUp runs on both. There's not I'm not running a Mac because I'm running SketchUp. I am running SketchUp and I have a Mac.
Yes, it's not either or.
Nope.
Or maybe it is.
Not mutually exclusive.
In any case, I open SketchUp on Windows, and it's Control to start a new face, to toggle the new face with push-pull.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but the Control is, there's a Control key on my Mac keyboard, but all of our shortcut keys are bound to Option. I'm not sure why that is, if that's some legacy thing or I don't know.
It's a Mac thing. you wouldn't understand. Oh, that's, wait, I'm sorry. I'm mixing up it's a Jeep thing and it's a Mac thing. They're different creatures. It just works.
SNTGCHNS, sorry, Sniggens on
I think it's
YouTube
safe.
is is mentioning. I think this is mentioned at least once before that you could model half of it and then mirror. Absolutely, and I do that a lot. There's a lot of the models we've done. I model half of it. With this, so many things are coming off of radiuses and that sort of thing that pulling out a circle is the same on both sides. So it's not a whole lot of extra time to model the whole thing as opposed to modeling in half. Something like this, if there's a lot more of this where there's holes on both sides, that might be something that I would copy. In fact, I may come up with a shortcut to copy that anyhow. But yeah, you're right. You could absolutely model these. These all have been symmetric so far.
If you come back on Friday, chances are pretty good that's exactly what you'll do, right?
What am I doing on Friday?
Fridays are the day. It doesn't matter. On Fridays, Friday's the day when Aaron only models half a thing and then flips it.
That's right. That's why.
At least historically.
That's why they're 2 to 3 hours instead of 4 to 6. All right.
Oh, so he actually spelled it out. Santiago Chinas.
All right. Well, now I will try to remember that that is Santiago.
Okay. And there's another question there. What was the other one? Oh, Cowboy just wanted to know if you should be using a GPU. And if you've got a computer with an actual 3D accelerated video card, definitely use a 3D accelerated video card.
Right.
Use your big computer, not your little computer when using SketchUp.
That's right. Put as much on the GPU as you can. All right. With this, here's how I think I would approach this. This centerpiece is calling to me, so I think I'll start by drawing this on the ground and then this shape on the ground and start bringing it up.
Oh,
this piece I'll add after. Yeah. And then this piece I'll probably intersect when I get part way up. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start on the ground. I'm going to draw this first circle, which has a diameter of 40, so I'm going to draw 20. And then the next one has a diameter of 60, so I'm going to draw a radius of 30. So that's this circle right here on the ground, the bottom. And then from that center point, I have over 75 this way. I have a circle with a radius of 10, and then a radius of 25. So I'm going to draw those. Again, staying on axes to draw my circle. 10, 25. Get rid of this. And then, again, I'm going to draw my reference lines on the green axes just to make sure I get the right spots. Take that straight back. A lot of times I'll do this, rather than trying to snap to the face and stay on axes, I'll just run my line through on axes like this. So I'm staying on red and overlapping, because it's easier for me to come over here and delete these than have to worry about snapping right against that angled line and zooming in real far to do it. All right, I'm going to do this, and get rid of this. So I'm intentionally leaving this as two separate pieces because one of them comes up 15, the other goes up 60. So I'm going to intentionally keep these separate. They'll still merge together on the ground underneath afterwards, but right now I'm going to pull this one up 15, and I'm going to take this one up 15 as well right now. I clicked on a single face and hit orient faces. That put all the faces facing the same way because part of that was upside down. All right, so now that I'm here, I'm at this point right here. I'm at this line right here. So top of this surface, bottom of this surface. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm gonna find the middle point, bring a green line across so I can find that axis. Pull this out 60, and then another 15. See that right there? So 60 from the middle of that circle, that's where I had this green line come across, to here, and then another 15 for this piece right here. Then I can take that.
Gotta really be paying attention to remember to do that right.
Sorry, what's that?
You gotta really be paying attention to make sure you do that right.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea.
I might have been acknowledging that you were paying attention. Sorry.
Oh, I was doing my best. All right. As I pull this up, I was going to pull this up 15, but I saw that I somehow, at some point, I broke my circle. See this? So I have separate pieces here. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come in here, double click on this face, then turn off this face, turn off these lines. So I have just this arc selected, and I'm going to go into extension and hit weld. And now when I pull it up, see I get that nice smooth face. I could have modifier erased that as well, but I didn't. Just showing how you can fix that beforehand. All right, and now I'm going to take this line and pull that up an additional 30. Now I can grab this circle right here and I can pull it all the way up to here. I'm going to go ahead and get my modifier key, Alt or Control, depending on your operating system, and get rid of all these extra lines. I could come in here, by the way, I could grab all of this and use Soft and Smooth. So I could just turn that on and then play with this to get rid of the pieces I want. It kind of falls in line with maybe this is the equivalent of, ooh, look at that, of hand stitching, but I just kind of like smoothing those lines out. Oop, that line wasn't supposed to be smoothed out though. That's supposed to be there.
Yeah, I tend to do that too. There's something rewarding about it.
There's, yeah. All right, so at the bottom, something I did prevented that from closing up. So I got to get that cleaned up. I can take these faces out of the inside. That's optional too. That's just to make it a solid, which is something I try to do. So if you ever have a situation like this, if I have a donut shape, donut being a circle inside of a circle, it can be hard to close, because one thing that can happen is you can come out here and close the outer edge, but then you see the inside edge, so it created one surface all the way around. So now I have to go in here and separately try to break this inside edge. That was actually pretty easy, but what you can do to do this all in one move is if you take a line and connect it from the outside to the inside, if I do that twice, sometimes it'll just close the whole donut. So that's an option too. If you don't want to have to break each circle, is just connect the donut. Donut. All right. Hey, if I look at it like this, it looks kind of like a toilet bowl.
I thought I looked away and I looked back. I'm like, when did we just toilets?
I just machined a mini toilet bowl. Not mini. That thing's huge. You could fall right in. All right, so right here, I have this little piece 10 wide at the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here on the flat. This is the flat piece between the two. I'm going to go find my midpoint. I'm going to draw a line this way, 5. And I'm going to drop that line straight on the red axis till it hits, and then come right here, come back 10.
JDC said you need some TP to go with it, and I just want to make it clear that we are not hoarding TP around here.
That's right.
So if possible, we don't have that to spare.
That's right.
Or maybe it's too valuable to joke about too soon.
Maybe now is the time to do that. Maybe we should be modeling it since we can't actually have it.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right, so now, well, let me do the other easy part. Right here, we have, this is such a weird way to dimension this. I'm going to come around this side. So from this middle point, 17.5 over, 15 down, I have a circle with a radius of 8. I'll push that through the other side.
So
When
did
it
you
breaks
get this?
this,
Did you go to confusingmachinedrawings.com to download all these pictures?
impossibletobuild.com. All right, what I'm going to do right here, to get this circle over here, rather than doing that same thing I did on the back side, I'm just going to grab it by this corner, modifier key move to drop it over here. It'll do that sometime. I'm just going to close it, and then I can push that through to the other side. All right, getting there. Now, we're going to have the same issue with this ramp, but it's worse. Because what I have here, so let me start by finding, where's the front? Okay, so this right here is the middle. I'm going to draw a line down so I can keep track of that. So what's happening here is I have a measurement back from the end of this ramp. I don't know if this, it's like a reinforcing piece. I know that. I don't know if it's actually called a ramp. Not having terminology's never stopped me in the past, though. It's saying it's forward 25 from this piece right here, but we all know we're coming off of a curve right here, right? So if I come over 5, and then I come back to here,
Dave said that's a buttress.
I think I've been told that before.
Seems like a buttress would basically be the cushion on a chair, right? Sort of like a mattress. Oh,
that's
no,
a butt rest.
Oh, my bad.
You're missing 2 S's instead of an S and a T.
Yeah.
25. I can bring that over like that. So that then is 25 off of here, which actually ends up only being 24, about 24 and a half from the middle. Now we get back to the same question we had before, right? Is this, do we just take this straight across like that and cut that corner off? Because then I can take this, option copy that over here, get rid of all this mess.
Yeah.
I get rid of too much.
That's because that line's not closed yet.
Yeah.
Merck said it's a gusset. Now I gotta ask the Google the difference between the two, butt rest and gusset.
2 S's.
Oh, sorry.
You know, I've heard sometimes if you don't keep those buttresses properly welded down, they can fly right off.
A buttress is an architectural structure. A gusset, which is how I would have used it, because in the Jeep world, whenever you put on bigger tires, you need to gusset your axle to make sure that it doesn't. I'm geeking out in the wrong direction, though, right?
It's still metal.
I think in the mechanical world, it's a gusset, and a buttress is for architecture.
Sounds good. Is gusset sort of a like indifferent term you just use for reinforcement? Is that?
That's how I use it.
Marconi's asking about welding. You know, actually, I think I'm going to do a skill builder on modeling welds, because enough people have asked about that.
Yeah, it seems like one that's a little. I mean, it's a neat detail, but maybe adds complexity to your drawing that defeats the elegance of SketchUp.
Yeah, I think there's a thing with putting a weld in where you put it in with enough detail that it shows what it is without making it super heavy. Because I've seen some people who put in weld drawings that end up being like just hundreds of thousands of faces on like, you know, a couple inches. That's not so hot. Oh!
There you go.
Andy on Twitch caught me. Good call, good call. All right, I'm going to make that a new group.
It looks good. It's going to look gigantic when you slide it over there next to the rest of them.
Yeah, this is a big one. Actually, that's not that
No,
third one's just tiny.
That one's tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like it fits. These 3 could hang out. This guy's he skipped a
That's a
grade or
precision
something.
part.
Yeah, it's tiny too. Not only is it a weird one to have to weld, but or to machine, but it's also little. All right.
Are they all solid? Are you running? You didn't do solid check on any of them,
You know,
did
I was
you?
just thinking about that. Let's just check. Solid, solid, troublemaker, solid.
Hey, that one's not solid because it's so small.
That's right. Come on, little guy. Play along with your big brothers here. Let's check and see what's going on. Got a stray edge and an internal face. I'll just let Solid Inspector fix them all. Nur is watching on YouTube from Indonesia, where it is currently 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning last night or tomorrow morning? He's saying it's today's tomorrow afternoon. I'm confused.
I don't understand international time. I just be honest, like I don't. I get we have to arbitrarily say something is a day or a night or whatever, but how it can be, I don't know. I can't even. I just I can't. I'm not gonna. I don't.
I always
I
want
get,
to ask
I
the
get
people
so
in the future
confused.
if they could go find out like what the lottery numbers are for me tomorrow.
Yeah. Or tell us if something bad happens on a certain day so we can fix it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Eric was pointing out that you can also use X-ray to see interior edges and delete them. Absolutely true. This is a great way to do it. All right, 4 out of 6 down. We're flying through these things.
This next one is tiny and
Is it small again?
hard to
Oh no,
read.
the actual image is
Well,
small, huh?
the image is small. No, it's big. It's like
Ooh.
110 wide, it looks like.
Ooh. All right. Well, let's come in here, delete this part, and load a new watermark.
It's 1
Part
o'clock in
E.
the
We're on to
afternoon here in
part E
Amherst.
if you're following along. If you are having, somebody mentioned was trying to explain issues they're having with the circles. Unfortunately, I didn't quite follow what you were saying to me. So if you want to go to our forum, forums.sketchup.com, you can actually post pictures of the issues you're running into or share the files, and we can help out with that that way. So if you are struggling, head over to the forum and we'll get you help. Because sometimes it's hard to just describe, oh, I'm having a problem. Whoops, I think I did that wrong. I'm having a problem and trying to describe what the problem is. It's not always that easy. All right.
It looks like Dave already pushed his version of all these up.
Well, at least he waited. Because like last week, I think he had them posted like the day before when I put the initial post up. I'm just kidding, Dave. It's fine. It's hard not
It's
to. I
guys
mean,
like
this
that
sounds
have
this is gonna sound super geeky and nerdy right now, but that's okay. Like this is so much fun for like a SketchUp user where this is like there's an absolute right way to do it. It's precision modeling. It is an awesome way to just practice. So it's kind of funny that yeah, I think Dave geeked out the same way I did when I first found a website that had I don't know 36 files like this of small drawings. It's good times. All right.
Oh, Brent. Looks like Brent pushed his copy up, his SketchUp file up. Let me pull that up. Carry
Nice.
on.
All right. So here again, my initial thought would be to create this shape right here and push it back. Oh yeah, so I have the full dimension, 60 plus 68. So I think that's what I would do. I'll come over here, I'll go up 28, come across 60, back down 28, over 10, up 14, same thing over here, 10, 14, and connect the two together. Now this has, so it comes back 60. And then it's 68 minus 8, so it's 120. Sorry, that was knee-jerk math. That wasn't intended to be. I did it without thinking, therefore it doesn't count. All right, that's the easy part. Now we got some stuff happening right here at 60 feet back, or 60 back. So that's right in the middle. So I'm going to draw a line across like this. And I'm going to pull that up 60 according to this dimension right here. That goes 60 to here, which is the middle, and that's a circle of 60, so that's all good. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to pull that first circle out, which is 60, and just to keep this going, I'm just going to pull it across right now. I'm leaving this because it's going to get pulled out also. Pulled that this way, 8. And it also sticks out 8 on the other side. So I'm going to grab this circle right here. I'm going to grab it from this point, Option copy, and stick it on the back side. And then I can just pull that out 8 as well. And now I can put this middle circle, go to this point here, and it is half of 32, so 16, and I'll push that all the way through. All right. Use my modifier key to get rid of these extra lines. Really, with something like this isn't, there's nothing on here that's terribly complicated. I think after you've done this for a little while, what really becomes easier is breaking down how to model the shapes. And I think that is the experience of designing over time, is that you look at something and you start thinking immediately, how would I break that down and how would I make it? The steps, everything I've done so far, there's really no complicated steps. I haven't used any crazy extensions or modifier keys that aren't just standard tools. Like, everything's pretty basic. I think really just the big thing, like I said, is that getting used to those how to break something down. And I think that's just a design experience, and that's one of the things that these practicing by drawing these machine parts really helps you with, is how to break everything down like that. All right, so I have one screw hole, bolt hole, whatever, some kind of hole here, 24 back. So I'm putting another circle right here.
Probably just call it a hole. I don't think anybody's going to challenge you on that.
It is just a hole, yes. I'll pull that through the other side. All right, so that's most of that. Let's save real quick. Now we got this little thing right here. This looks simple enough. I'm just looking for a dimension. So I have a 22 right here. I'm trying to tell where that is. If that comes back from here, is this whole thing centered? I really don't know. 8 plus 12, so it's going to be, if it's 12 on both sides, that's 24, so that's 32. All right, so let's
so you can use that center line and then the diameter for that circle too.
Yeah, I'm going to draw it centered, and then maybe I might end up moving it. So I'm going to drop a line right here just so I have a line of reference, because then I'm going to come from here. I'm going to come up 16. I'm going to come this way, also 16. I'm going to come up 12. Come back 12. I'm just going to come up to here. I'm going to come this way 4. I'm going to drop that straight down. Take that shape. I'm getting a little weird with this. I kind of got a plan, I promise. Kind of.
This looks like a series of what not to do's. I'm
laying track down to drive on later. All right, now I'm going to pull this out 50. And I have to make some assumptions here because I'm assuming that dimension, oh, it's on the side. So that is the edge. So I'm going to draw a circle right here. That should be 16. And then I'll just pull it down now. And then draw one more. 8. Then get rid of this and pull this to the other side. All right, modifier key erase to get rid of these 2 lines. And then, oops, I deleted that. I shouldn't have deleted that.
Oh, sorry. I feel like that's my fault.
Yeah, I'll let you take the blame for that. I need to pull that up an extra 12. All right, and now I have this reference right here.
That's funny. Is Dave and Christopher caught this? I mean, I'm hearing you like 10 seconds faster than them, but they both totally caught it when you did it.
Put that
So
arc back.
Put that.
You need that circle. Thanks, guys.
Stop it! No.
Okay, so now I'm going to bring a line back here. Let me get above here so I can see straight down. There we go. So I run into the line there. And now, I guess I could just pull this up, do a push-pull like that. So I could, right now, do this, this, and this.
Hmm.
I thought I could. Apparently I can't.
Stitch it. Stitch it.
Oh, I missed it.
No, wrong endpoint.
I got everything wrong there. All right, let's try that again. We're gonna have the opposite. This is gonna be the opposite of the issue we had before, because we're gonna have to intrude on a circle rather than cut it off. So that could happen. It looks like this goes above that though. I wonder if this is like a going to tangent kind of thing. Marconi says he has more. Yeah, throw him in the forum. That'll be a fun thing to do on a cold quarantine night. Oops.
Or warm.
Or warm.
Since it's getting warmer.
All right, so I'm kind of thinking. Nope, I missed it. I don't know. I'm just playing with something right now because I hadn't really had this thought out. So this could work. This could be good right here, but it kind of looks like that goes up onto the circle a little bit. I think this line here is indicating that maybe it goes to tangent or something like that. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this circle and take this circle and make a copy of it and bring it back here. Because what I'm curious about is which one of these segments, see that looks pretty good. I like the way that dies in there. I can take that then and I can push pull that to the other side. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice. See how that dies right into the side of the circle rather than kind of just sticking in the side of the piece. That looks much better. All right, so at this point, I really just got cleanup to do. This is the same issue here, by the way. This is what we were talking about before. I guess there's another option, because what I could do, again, thinking about actually machining this, if I was to do something like this. I could pull that round piece up, intersect these two, something like that, where that's still the whole circle getting put down inside there, and this piece getting cut back. I don't know. I'm not really sure how that would actually get machined. So, and once again, we're looking at. Let me count how many pixels wide this detail is. But yeah, so something like that might work.
Vitali's asking if there's a way to type in a value for a push-pull.
Yes. As soon as you start a push-pull, the way a push-pull should work is you click once to select the surface, you start to move, then you type in the exact dimension and hit enter. That's how a push-pull should work. We get in this habit, especially for some reason it's worse with push-pull than others, where we click and we drag and try to release where we want it to go. But the general way to use almost all the tools in SketchUp is to click and release, then move your mouse where you want it and click and release again. Clicking and holding and dragging just sets you up for problems in the future. So yeah, so just click release, start to move, type in dimension, enter. Yeah, so that was the other way this could go then is basically what we had before. I'll take that to there. Basically I'm drawing a straight line here. Get rid of all this stuff. Whoop. There we go. And then I can just reconnect that and that. I'll need to clean up that as well. Did that make more sense? I don't know. Like I said, I'm making stuff up. I can make anything. Make geometry in 3D. I just don't know how this would actually get made in the real world.
That's not your job as a designer.
That's right. I don't have to worry about reality. Fabricator takes care of that. I don't know. It's just water. Don't worry. I'm in the middle of my work day and my boss could be watching at any time.
In fact, he might chime in.
He's on?
No, I don't see him.
No. He'd have to bite on that. All right. Cool. Yeah, so not 100% sure how that would actually work out, but I'm gonna grab that, make it a group. Let's just take a peek. Oh, something's not solid. There is a stray edge. Let's find it. Whoa. Oh, I deleted this. I deleted one of these. This is where the arc broke. There he is. Troublemaker.
Oh,
Got it. All right, now it's a solid group. All right, looks good. Woo. All right.
so
Yes.
I want to comment between these here because I'm
Let's.
messing with Brent had posted a while ago that he posted his problem file on the forum.
All right.
So I downloaded it and I've been playing with it, and I don't know if I've necessarily fixed his problem at this point, but it looks like, and I just want to be clear for everybody, he's doing all his drawing on different tags or different layers instead of layer 0. So I'm having to go through and explode everything and move everything to layer 0 and then regroup it and then remove it back to its own layer. So make sure you're always doing all of your raw geometry on layer 0 or untagged in SketchUp 2020.
Right. And I will visually illustrate exactly what Jody just said. So over here in tags,
You probably
just
you can use the L word while you're
right
describing
here.
this, since some people at home are not.
Leave this pencil right here. Leave the pencil on the top untagged. And then as you create these parts, once it goes into a group, then I can put it into a tag there. But your geometry, yeah, your geometry should always stay untagged. All right, let's look at this. Ooh, what a nice rounded base. Haven't had one of those yet. This one's fairly simple. I mean, this is pretty much start at the ground and work your way up. The challenge with this, we've got a little bit of a recess right here. Looks like this hole continues through the whole thing, through the whole piece. And then we have like a cone shape up here. So that'll be a fun one to put together. I'm not saying it's sarcastic. It should actually be a good time. So we'll start with what is this a dimension to? Is this the overall out-to-out dimension? And then here I have the dimensions, the internal radius. I think that's what I got. I think, you guys can correct me if you interpret this differently. I think what they're giving me is the overall dimension here. Maybe?
Now it kind of looks like the beginning of the arc.
Looks like, is that supposed to be underneath to this point?
Oh.
Because it looks. All right, let me try something. We can always correct. So I'm going to say this one right here, I'm going to draw 50 by 145.
I think if it was going to the center, it would be sort of like that 50 that you're seeing across the front goes center to center. So that 145 should go to the
You think
line referencing.
Is this line supposed to be coming up to right here? And then what's going on back here then?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm going to assume full length. I'm going to bet you that 145 is the full length.
I think so. I think that's what it is. And then if I come here, I'm going to come back 20 and draw a circle. No, this is a radius of 20. Oh, so that was right. So I'm going to draw a circle. Like that.
I'll buy that. I can see that.
So that gives me 50 from the middle of arc to middle of arc and an overall length of 145. Could
Carry on. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to go to the center point. I'm going to come back. I'm using the center point rather than the edge because obviously there is no corner to pull off of. So I need to come back, according to this, 65 from this face back. Actually, I should probably pull this up into space. Let me put my circles in. So I have what looks like two screw holes here. Radius of 9. Radius of 9. If I delete these first, then I can just pull this up 20 and be done. If you ever have a situation where you have lots and lots and lots of holes, a lot of times it's easier to put those holes in your flat surface and pull the whole thing up rather than push-pulling a bunch of circles down. So yeah, prepping your geometry on the flat is a lot of times easier than messing with your 3D geometry. All right, so now from here, I'm going to come back 65. I'm just going to put a line across like this right now. And now this shape is 68 wide, so that's 34. So I'm going to come this way, 34.
Look at you mathing. This is impressive.
And then I'm going to go 50. And then I'm going to come this
Where'd you
way,
see that 50?
68,
Oh,
right
there
here.
it is. Yep.
I come this way, 68, and then this should be 50. All right, so there is that. But it looks like this circle right here, this can't fit right here, can it? Yeah, I guess it has to. So I put a circle right here. Does it hang off the edge?
It's a good question. Dave's already done this. Maybe we should just get Dave to walk you through it.
That's what I got out of this, right? So hold on, let me check my dimensions. So if I go from here to here, that's 65.
Yep.
This is
So that 50 goes
68
to the
wide.
center.
50 is from this face back to the center.
Yeah.
Looks like oh yeah, Dave mentioned there was one bad dimension on here. And it's this 50, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so can we assume that that should be 4 meters smaller? So
I think so, because it also shows, like, there's the 24, which is the interior circle, interior hole.
Uh-huh.
And often these things seem to be kind of half of one another, right? I don't know. That's me.
Yeah,
just
so if that was
being
48, yeah. So if I did that, then this circle would come out to there, which would be put it right on the edge.
This guy, it wasn't actually in the backstory when you downloaded this image, but the guy that designed this got fired.
You know, maybe I don't have context for this, as is the way of the Google, but it's possible that the text originally accompanying this drawing was "find the incorrect dimension."
Somebody made a reference to Escher. Oh yeah,
that could be
Dave
too.
right off the bat said the dimension was bad, and then Steve said, "Oh yeah, Escher part." I'm gonna agree with that.
I'll take that up 30. I'm gonna grab this face right here. I'm going to copy it up to here and push that up 15. Pull that up to here. Delete some things. We'll come back and maybe we'll make some more changes. Talk about some modification options. All right, so I'm going to put my circle back in. I did get rid of it, but it's back. And now it is here. I'm going to pull this up. So modifier, pull up to 40.
This could all come back to that original 145 value.
Yeah.
Which is something that both Arvind and Technomotive have both commented that line point is the middle of the arc, not the ultimate overall dimensions.
That could fix us. So yes. Hold on, because what I'm doing now won't be lost work after we make that change. So I'm going to grab these two faces and make them a separate group. And I'm going to come in here to this middle point. I'm going to draw a line I'm going to draw a circle right here of right there, radius of 20. I guess I didn't have to group that, but now I can grab this circle and I can scale it about the middle. So I hold down modifier key, Option and Shift to scale it to that circle. I didn't have to do that. I actually didn't have to do that in context. I just did it because I get scared about my faces joining together. Now that I've done that, I can explode it again. So what's that?
I said I had a nightmare about that. My face fusing together.
That's a whole nother thing. All right, before I push pull this, I'm going to grab it by the middle, modifier move. Oop, wrong modifier. And drag it down on the vertical axis and drop it right onto that next surface. And now, why does it look so much smaller? I'll pull it down to this piece right here. I'm not going to go all the way through intentionally for just a second. To mess with the rest of the geometry, you can go in and let's play with some, see if we can find the actual proper solution here. I'm going to grab this stuff, make it into a group. I'm going to put it on a layer called temp real quick so I can just turn it off.
What?
A tag.
Oh.
Called someday I'll have that all down by the time we change it to something else. All right, so I have it as two separate pieces because I want to keep the geometry separate while I do this. Because I know right now this right here is still 65. Now what we're doing with this geometry, this ungrouped geometry, I need some reference lines to make this a little bit easier. So I'm just going to drop a line straight down from the center. Oop, try it again. Easy for me to say and then not do. I'm just going to drop a line straight down there. I'm going to find this arc, drop a line straight down there too. This is not required. I could just find those inferencing points just as easily. This is just for my own reference. So right now, center of arc to center of arc is 105. So this is saying that that piece is 40 bigger. So to do that, I'll grab this, move it this way 40. So now I can verify from here to here is 145. And between these two circles is still 50. And this one right here is still 65 from the end. Now we took 40 off of this thing. So if I come in here now and grab all the geometry that was affected by that, so it's going to be this piece right here, this arc, this circle, this arc, here, I'll just go like this. Other half of that arc, that circle there. I could grab that geometry right now and scoot it this way, 4. And that should give me a dimension from the center of this circle back to this line being 50 again. All right, so that's that. That still doesn't look right. This looks way too far. Okay. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Josen on Facebook is saying that the 145 looks like it's at the tangents of the 20s. So this is another option. So if we look at this point right here, And this point right here, currently they are, oh boy, 173.37. I'm not doing that math. Here's how I'm going to not do that math. I'm going to draw a line here and say 145. Now I can just grab this geometry, grab it by this handle right here, and move it right back. Whoops, I didn't grab everything. I missed that section right there. And grab all of that, slide it back to here. Ooh. Weird spot to pull a dimension from.
I'm sure it
But,
made sense to the guy that made the drawing.
well, what does he know? I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know what he knows. Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know how, if you were actually making this, I don't know how you would draw that, like actually
Yeah, you pull that
chart
in.
out that dimension. You need this.
Dimensioning things
You
on
need
arcs
this
in real
curve
life
that
is hard
doesn't
enough as
exist
it
yet.
is.
Yeah.
All right. So that was ridiculous, but that does seem to be the thing. Okay.
Yeah. It looks like a drawing now. Whatever that's worth.
All right. So yeah, obviously somebody should 3D print this and then verify with calipers that I got the middle of that arc 145 from the middle of that arc, please.
I'm gonna 3D print this out after we're done here.
There we go.
We'll play with it.
All right. So I'm gonna.
Yves wants to know if you can change the default circle segment setting. It just
Uh,
remembers your last value, right?
yeah, it always and anytime you start a new drawing, it goes to 24. I want to say I don't think that's part of a template either. Can you double check me on that?
Feature request. Yeah, we play with it.
I will say, so I agree. Dave just said that would be stupid, and I totally agree. But my drawing looks right. So let's do the quick confirmation. Well, let me clean it up real quick. So I'm going to grab all this geometry, right click, intersect faces with selection, because I had some issues here. I had a hole here that didn't cut through. I can get rid of this line. Nope. I need to go inside and get that surface out. This hole right here has to be pulled all the way through to the bottom. Let's soften all that. And then I'm pretty sure this didn't merge for some reason. And then I'll turn on X-ray. This is what somebody was talking about, is cleaning up. Edges are super easy to clean up in X-ray because you can just select them and delete them. Faces are a little bit more work because I can't select a face in back through the face. If I click, it's gonna always pick what's in front of me. So if I want to select faces, then I do have to kind of pop my head inside the model, but then I can delete that. The same thing going on here. No, that's right. This is an extra face here. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and make that a group. I didn't get it all. I believe my problem is, whoa, there we go. All right. I got a surface border somewhere. Dang it, thought I deleted that. What? Wait, what? Oh, I deleted a face that I absolutely needed. Whoops. All right.
All right. Here's my finding on circles. If you draw a circle and then you change the number of segments and then you close that document, but you still leave SketchUp open, then it will still remember whatever your value was and the next document window you open. So say you set it to 48, you close down your document window, open a new one, it's still 48. But as soon
Okay.
as you exit SketchUp, it defaults back to 24, even if
There
you
we
set
go.
it in your template.
Okay. Good testing. That's on the fly. All right, so this is now solid. Now let's check this. This is saying let's go ahead and we'll go get into our parallel projection. For the sake of dramatic reveal, I'm going to come over here into my styles. I'm going to take this one and position it right in the middle. Make it nice and big.
Yeah, it's a session setting, Andy.
All right, and let's see if we can't line this thing up. Ooh.
You still going to work on that gusset? Are you doing this right now to draw that gusset?
Oh yeah, gusset. No, I'm totally preoccupied by this geometry thing.
You know, geometry is a kind of math. You're secretly a math nerd.
Yeah, but I like shapes. So that's my excuse for being okay with geometry is I've always enjoyed drawing things, and it still doesn't look like right. It still doesn't look. Something still seems off about it. But I mean, this looks a lot closer than. I'm not arguing that it's a ridiculous thing to dimension to the 45 from an edge onto the radius of an arc. That's silly, but it kind of looks like that's what they want. So, meh. Oh, all right. Yeah,
So
let me slap that gusset in here real quick.
I came
Look at me
across
use
kind of this
gusset like it's no big deal. I'm gonna throw
Yeah,
gusset
I
in.
know, right?
Just watch this. I'm gonna do. Apparently, I'm doing it casually too.
If you go on Pinterest, remember Pinterest, man. There's like 8 billion different technical drawings out there. You can just go and grab stuff, download them, and print. Is that where you're getting them from? Pinterest?
Yeah, these ones all came from Pinterest. Wait a minute. Do I not have a dimension for this?
For the, it just goes from the top to the front.
No, but the width of it.
Oh, the width.
So that was actually pretty easy because I could go midpoint, midpoint, midpoint. I don't have any circle to worry about. But now I got to put some depth on this thing. Pull it into the 3D world. I can't.
Huh.
Guess I do what I want.
You can make something up, and it's not like they can say you're wrong.
All right, I'll do 8. I don't know who they are, but they need to mind their business.
Yeah, well, you know how they talk.
That is so they. All right. Uh-oh. So obviously I got some internal faces here. Oh, Solid Inspector still one of my favorites. All right. Well, that looks too big. Just bring it back 2 on each side and see if that looks better. All right.
Huh.
I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, I can find nothing really. That's weird. Yeah, this guy, that draftsman needs to lose his job. He needs to go back to,
well,
I don't know, being a lifeguard or something.
You know, it is possible that these are scanned images of hand drawings from long enough ago that the person who drew this doesn't do this anymore. That is totally possible. So it may have happened. It may have happened because he retired after working for 40, 50 years at this job. But
it also says figure 2 on that drawing. That's why I started looking to see if maybe there was a figure 1 that was a different angle.
Hey, if you can find the accurate drawing by searching Pinterest for figure 1, you should be a PI. You should be a very lucrative job as a PI.
Google image search.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's 6 of 6. I honestly, after we did 4 last time, I was like, well, we won't get to all these, but I'll put them out there as stretch goals. But it happened. Oops, gotta come back to the origin, my friends. That sure is 6 parts. Um, yeah, that's, so I was gonna go check. Marconi has more, more parts. So Dave made a modification. He stretched out this section right here to be longer. So he added to this dimension so that this came out. Does yours actually touch, Dave? Do you actually, does this come out and actually meet right there? Because that seems, that bothers my sense of aesthetics. Like that, I feel like that needs to be like just a lip on here. I don't know why I feel that needs to be necessary, but well, that was fun. It was nice to have a problem to work on.
Well, so that's one of the things that makes SketchUp cool to me is, I mean, you can putter around and try and solve the problem that arose in that drawing
Yeah.
by being able to play in 3D space like that.
Well, it's cool because, and this is one of the things, and I like this about just 3D modeling in general, is we were able to do that and come up with different scenarios. And like, look at this, like we reworked this 3 different ways before we came and finally had our what we wanted to use. And all of that was done for no expense, no material wasted, no time. I mean, to go in and create 3 different alternatives and grind this down in 3 different ways, I mean, I don't know why anybody would even do that. But 3D space lets you actually go in and play with that. And like I said, I think that's why I've always enjoyed 3D modeling, because of just that. Because you can go in and you can make anything. It's fun.
This has really inspired me. I think I'm going to go watch The Machinist again. I feel like
Ooh, I can't do that. Oh, that was creepy.
Batman at his lowest,
At his lightest.
at his lightest for sure.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen The Machinist, I don't know if I could tell
Ma-
you should go watch it.
oh
It was
my
not my
goodness,
favorite movie.
I think I just found my favorite technical drawing. Just a minute. I'm going to put this up there. You can model it. This will be extra credit.
Okay, bonus time, guys.
Ah, it's too many pictures in here. I can't get to the bottom of the page.
You know, there's a little bar right here.
Shh.
Ooh, look at this. Ooh, that's fun. Holy cow! Looks like we got the next. We got all of quarantine time like nailed right now. Thanks, Marconi.
Whew,
Awesome. So
there's a
so you
lot.
guys, if you are watching and you want to spend this time where you got a little extra time on your plate, man, spend half an hour a day even. Grab one of these drawings from this right here and go make it. I promise you, this is going to be something that will take your SketchUp skills to the next level. You'll get faster. You'll be more confident. Yeah, this is awesome. This is so many cool drawings.
So in the Pinterest link that I shared, there's a bunch of them in there that'll actually give you like the 3 different, like 2 or 3 different pictures, which are great for, like, if you're new to this, you can use those just for that way. You've got multiple dimensions and you've got like I mean, they literally look like just draft drawings. Oh, it's funny. I'm seeing now that they're inside their own pinboard called SketchUp Rendered. So
Ha,
somebody, whoever this person is, drew all these and put them all up in SketchUp. So they're totally SketchUp bubble.
that's awesome. All right, yeah, let's throw this thing in real quick, and then we'll call it. I'll do the same thing. I was tempted to trace this, but no, let's pull it in just like we did and just draw it from the dimensions rather than uh, stick this up here again. Oh, that's gonna be rough. Keeping it big enough to. All right, here's what we'll do. Put it down here.
It's funny that you think that it matters which corner it's in.
Well, I was just trying to get out. My head's in the way, not for you,
Oh,
Jody.
okay.
It's time to think about everybody else, okay?
Wait, everybody else. There's other people?
The rest of
Oh,
them.
that's what I thought these were just
All
my
right.
my virtual voices.
So I'm going to start with his dome right here. His head is half a circle and has a radius of 32. So I'm going to come in with a circle, draw it across here, 32. There we go. And now from that center point, if I come across my red, I can take a line down 70, come across this way. Well, this will be 64. And I can take that straight back up. So that gives me the initial shape. Down here, I have 4 circles with the radius, half circles with a radius of 8. I'm going to go ahead and grab an arc. I haven't used arcs at all. Come this way. It's radius of 8, so the half circle will be 16. And then I can pull it out to 8. And I can just grab that. Option 3x. All right. Let me reverse my face because I wanna. All right, now what we got is a bunch of overlapping circles. This is fun. So everything is based off of this center dimension, it looks like. So I have, let me do this. I'm gonna draw a line like that, and then I'm gonna come down 25. And then I'm going to come down 4. This is actually where I should probably be using guides right now. I'm going to draw a circle from here with the radius of 16.5, and then from the lower circle or the lower point, another one at, oops, stay on axes, 16.5. There we go. And then I can just use my eraser to get rid of those extra lines, and I have a ghost mouth. All right. From there, we come up 10. And then we have one at 14, and one at 16. Actually, come here 2 feet, or 2. And then same thing, 2 radiuses of 10, so circle here, 10, enter, circle here. Huh, something's not right there. Oh, that one's,
It's
oh,
like
that one's,
not,
this one's
they don't
supposed to
look,
be off of 5. So hold up. There we go. So I have a circle here of 10, and a circle here of 10. Really? That doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. But let me verify my dimensions. If I come hover over, I can get to the center point. And now I can say, okay, to the middle, this should be half of 28, so this should be 14. It's 15, oops, hold on axes. It's 14. And this should be
so
5 feet from this point. And the arc for this one should be 16 feet over and 10 feet.
I think you're going too high for the center points on those two. The centers are 5 above this. The center for the eyebrows is 6.5 above the center for the eyes, it looks like.
Right, and if the eyes are centered on this 70-foot measurement right here.
No, they're lower, aren't they?
No, because look, 70
Okay.
is this line
Yep, yep,
across.
yep. Okay.
Now, let me get my eyes in.
So
Maybe that'll help a teeny bit. I don't know.
the eyes have it.
So the eyes are right here because they're off of this 32. And these are 13. Oh, nope, they are not. They are 6.5. Somebody's lying. You know, it looks like this one.
Oh, the
Oh,
R13
this has a
is the
totally.
eye.
This is a 13. This is a totally different radius.
That 13 is the eye. The 10 is one of the eyebrows, and the
Yeah, this is 13 right here. That's why. Because you got to read the drawings. That's why.
it's interesting. It says it 13, and then off this it says it in two spots. What's the O with a line through it thing mean?
That is diameter as opposed to radius.
So why is it giving a 13 diameter there, but then another one that's what has the 13 radius?
The inside arc. So this is 13.
Oh, okay, okay.
The outside is 10. That's why I was so far
Okay.
off.
Whew.
Oh, boy. All right, so I'm going to come in here, grab this center point, flip that over. Wow. I thought it would be a lot quicker and easier than it was, I'll be honest.
I know, right? It's a ghost. It's a cartoon ghost. Should totally be easy.
There we go. And I'm going to, because we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and give him some depth because we're machining. There we go.
Ooh, that was spooky. Just floating around like that.
The ghost of live streams past. You need to remodel the Cobra.
I don't know if we need to go back to the Cobra anytime soon.
I know. It's a pride thing. I got to let it go. Okay.
Although what was that movie that was just that Ferrari versus what the heck was it? And if starring the machinist, I think.
Was he Ford versus
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari or something like that. So watch that movie and then go back in and remodel the Cobra.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still blaming it on coronavirus. That didn't go well, and it's COVID's fault.
Yeah, I would be in support of modeling a Shelby instead of a Cobra. In fact,
Who's Shelby?
Shelby is the Ford in the Ford versus Ferrari. They're not racing a Cobra; they're racing a Shelby. Dave actually called me on that. Anyway.
Shelby. Awesome. Well, hey, that worked. Good bonus piece there.
Yeah, you didn't just smash it out as quick as I was afraid you might. It was slightly trickier.
Yeah, those turns out you have to actually read every number.
They're there for a reason.
That's right.
Lawrence said if you try and build the Cobra again, he's going to bite you.
He will, or the Cobra will bite me.
Oh.
Is that a threat or a pun?
It's a pun.
I have respect for one of those.
It already bit you once.
It did, and oh man, it looked like gotta get under there. Gotta take care of that. Yeah, I have limited lighting options here. I'll be honest, but most times it looks pretty good. One of my problems is I have a light in my garage that won't stay off. It's got a sensor on it, so it keeps turning on even though I want it to turn off. I think that's what's casting that shadow behind me. You know, people have these problems in their garages all the time. All right, well, I'm going to call it. That was a lot of fun. Let's save it. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully that went well for everyone else out there. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Jody, for helping out again.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you guys. Thank you for coming, hanging out Wednesday. I hope you learned something. I'll take these and I will throw these up on the 3D warehouse, including the ghost bonus. So if you guys do want to take a look at what I created or check any measurements off of what I have, not saying that mine was the right one, but it's a set of dimensions to look at. Your call. And like I said, go check out Marconi's post in that, that topic we created. Lots of really good, solid, well, I don't know if they're solid. They may be terribly dimensioned. They might be horrible and impossible to build, but good looking bunch of 3D drawings there. And Jody posted a link to a Pinterest board that has a whole bunch as well. So check it out. Great way to practice SketchUp. And we will be back here on Friday. Friday we will be creating a modern Adirondack chair, which I had to learn how to say that properly, by the way. I've been saying Adirondack my entire life.
Oh,
So
yeah, there's no N.
well, there is, just it's later.
Okay, there's only one N.
Yeah, Adirondack, not Adirondack. So anyhow, a modern Adirondack chair. We'll be building that here on Friday. So swing by, same time that this happened will happen in 2 days, or as Jody likes to point out, in about 46 hours, if that helps you. So swing by then, we'll hang out. That'll be the end of the day. We can relax, end of the week. Until then, stay wherever you are, stay safe, stay sane, keep SketchUpping, practice your parts, and we'll see you in a couple days.
See
Bye,
you
guys.
guys next time.